Hello everyone and welcome to another historic video. So today we're going to be taking a look at another domain aggro list in Historic. And that's because I saw a Reddit post from the Cheesedidit. And as you can see, they went 45 and 14 in best of 1. And I know this is a best of 1 list, but I did add the sideboard so that we can play in the best of 3. Contrary to the list that you usually see from me playing the domain aggro list, it's not playing any of those land cycling cards. And instead, they're playing a 24 land aggro list. And one other interesting thing is that it's not playing Lightning Helix, and instead we're playing 4 copies of Bonecrusher Giant in the deck with Reckless Stormseeker. So Bonecrusher Giant should be really good versus tiny creatures such as the Lighted Halflings, any of the cards from Yawgmoth. Even against the Kethis decks, they have things like Kennen, they have Emery, things like that. And on the top end, the deck has 4 copies of Bloodbraid Elf as well, which should be very aggressive if you can hit something like Lelia or Reckless Stormseeker. So having said that, we're going to be jumping into some Historic best of 3 to show you guys how the deck does. So let's hop on over. Okay, I'm playing as Yorion. There's only one deck that really plays Yorion in this format, and that's Gates. So we gotta go fast as possible. Well, I mean, this isn't really great, but I'm not gonna multi 5. That works. We kinda just want to see land. So land here would be fantastic. Come on, give me a land. Yes! Oh, that's really hot. And a Tribal Flame? You're dead. Bone. Wow, that was really fast. I was kind of scared because my start wasn't very fast, but the Bloodbraid Elf and the Reckless Stormcharger really like put on a lot of work. So they're gonna bring a lot of board wipes, right? I'm not even sure about Leyline Binding. Because doesn't this only hit... Like, they're gonna have, like, one giant permanent, like, which is Primeval Titan. I mean, I guess it doesn't really hurt. Voice of Resurgence should be good. Okay, this hand is fantastic. Because Territorial Kavu doesn't die to their early board wipe. It's a very early Baldur's Gate. Usually you don't want to play the Baldur's Gate if you have other lands. They don't play that many untapped lands. So like you want to save those untapped lands. So considering that they play this, that means they don't have any lands in their hand. Okay. Looks decent. Another Guild's Gate. What is going on? Back to back? Does that ever happen? This land was actually beautiful. Not sure if I should Bonecrusher Giant or Lelia. Because this is really good if they don't have a removal spell. Like a board wipe, for instance, but if they did have a board wipe, then Bonecrusher Giant was a lot better. Kinda hard to say. Because I don't know their hand. This currently does 3 damage only, Tribal Flame. Ooh, Voice of Resurgence. That's a great card. Really? Actually did not expect that at all. A land would be very much appreciated. So far, I think the feel of this deck feels really nice. Okay, they misplayed if they're gonna Maze's End because they should have done the Maze's End and then play the Maze's End instead of playing the Transportal there. Because now they can't play a land this turn. Unless they have another Arboreal Brazier. And they did not. Oh, what am I doing? I just win. Okay, well, at least this matchup seems incredibly easy. This is my 3rd game versus them, and we've just crushed them. Ooh, yikes. This deck plays 24 lands, so kind of surprised to see something like that, but... Oh, wow! I mean, Territorial Kavu is incredible in this matchup. I won't lie. It is an incredible card. Because it dodges the 3-mana board wipe. Forgot what it was called. Oh wow, Bloodbraid Elf, so good. So we have 5 colors already. I think I'm actually supposed to shock, right? In case something like that happens. Because I needed to play the land first. Look, they only have 3 gates, and they played the 4th gate, so it only does 4 damage total. I might actually just get rid of that Elvish Rejuvenator with the Leyline Binding. Like... yeah. Maybe I should do that. That's so much damage. Like, look. 10 damage? And I have a Tribal Flame? Oh, you're dead. Boink. Man. Is this actually it? Is this the domain deck that we were waiting for? Hopefully we draw a land. Ooh. Kind of redundant, actually. So we only still have a 3 domain color. I would like to see a land here. This is maybe wizard deck. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. It's not a bad one. Kind of hope they play like a Symmetry Sage here or something. Perfect. Playing the LAKEY so I can get a land drop. That's not a land drop. Another Static Discharge. You know, funny thing is, if I just can get 5-color domain, I have the lethal damage here. Do I not? Wait a minute. I think I just got it. Yeah? Goodbye, opponent. It was nice knowing you. What a messed up card this is. Boink. Okay, so we want to play Lightning Helix. We also want to play Molten Impact. Maybe Brotherhood's End, we'll see. We'll cut Giganta. We'll cut Storm Seekers. Maybe all of them, actually. Like, this game is not a race. Gotta cut 2 more cards. Like, especially going second, Brotherhood's End should be really, really nice. What is the last 2 cut? Maybe it's like a copy of a Tribal Flame and a Wild Nacatl. No white land, though. That's actually problematic. Like, this hand is otherwise good if we had a white land, right? Is this really a mulligan? Blue, green, red, white. They must have a lot of expressive iteration if they did that. It's rare to see expressive iteration going off on turn 2. I think Kavu's the best card to play here. because it doesn't die to 3 damage spells. They could have like Wizard's Lightning. Okay, that's pretty wasteful. We need a land. Like that. So we have to shock this in. So we know that they have a Wizard's Lightning. But I think we have to Brotherhood's End. Whoa, they didn't use their Wizard's Lightning. I think they messed up. I know they have it for sure. I don't think I need another Brotherhood's End. Because look, there's another stop here. See, there's no stop anymore. So they had a Wizard's Lightning. So they're gonna Wizard's Lightning 1. Probably block 1. They had 2 of them. Oh, wow. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, we play Bloodbraid Elf. Okay, never mind. Walnut Coddle. Very disappointing. And that's game. This deck definitely feels a lot better than other domain decks I've played. How greedy am I? Actually, in order to play Kavu, actually... Oh, no. Am I super greedy? Or just a tad bit greedy? I think I'm super greedy. There it is, gentlemen. Thoughtseize bug. Bitter Blossom. I'll take a land off the top, please. The greed isn't paying off. If I could find a land and we tribal flame them. They could just die, you know? So, about those bitter blossoms. So they died to a Thoughtseize, they died to their own bitter blossom. Looks like opponent went a little bit too ham on the bitter blossoms there. Let's play Minx and Boo. See, they're not playing Loris. I think they're playing Sheoldred plus Ring. I'm not even sure if Molten Impact is that great of a card versus them. I mean, they do play these fairies though. So maybe. The thing is, I don't really want to play the mid-range plan versus them too much. Because, like, if you start bringing things like Molten Impact and stuff, and then you Bloodbraid Elf and they don't have a board, then you're in for a big trouble. I'm just not sure, like, how consistent are they gonna have a board state like this? Probably not? I don't know. I mean, I will say this hand is very much Thoughtseize proof. And a very scary one at that, too. I just need lands so that these grow big. Right? So no Fatal Push.
Nobody knows Dominaria shadows like me. I've always hated clothes. Whatever. Luck favors the foolish, after all.
I would like a land. Nighthawk Scavenger with Bitter Blossom, huh? That's kind of cool. They took out the Bonecrusher Giant? Say what? Oh, it's because it's an Orcish Bowmaster. I see. Okay, well, we won't attack then. There's no reason to attack and lose a Bonecrusher Giant for free. I don't think so. The scavenger is a bit annoying though. Okay, we're gonna start attacking. Or never mind. Or yeah. Or never mind. No white mana. They 100% should have attacked with the Sheoldred, right? Because I'm not going to be able to block. I go to 5. I need something decent out of this. That won't do it. I'm dead on board. So Lightning Helix actually looking pretty good versus them now because of Nighthawk Scavenger. But we already do have these. Bonecrusher Giant looking mighty bad. Let's play a Helix instead. We do have 4 colors with this, but it's a bit slow. But I am going first, so we have that going for us. And it's always bad to mulligan against the discard deck. You just want as much card advantage as possible, and then you'll just eventually win through top decks. We've been kind of getting stuck on some mana here as a 24 land deck. So they have an Orcish Bowmaster ready to go. Nighthawk Scavenger. Guess we can do that. They're trying to blow up my lands here. They're looking at my lands. I guess we'll Molten Impact. Obviously not great. Okay, we found a land. I think this is Orcish Bowmaster. That's why I decided to play Lelia next turn. It's still 1/1, so it's not the worst by any means. Oh, you have 2 of them. It's still 1/1. So I'm not really stressing over it too much. Should I just play the LAKEY here? They're just gonna block though. Maybe I'll get a playable card. Nope. So that's kind of what I thought it would happen. You have Molten Impact and really just doesn't do anything. A bit rough, isn't it? Just too many discard spells. And yeah, we're dead on board. GG's. I'm playing against Giganta. This is probably a wizard deck. The Kavu is going to be a 4/4. Already looking pretty good. So we need a blue source, right? Symmetry Sage. Wizard's Lightning. Okay. I'm kinda mad about that actually. I'm down to trade a 3/3 for this. Down to trade there. Arcanist. Let's see. I feel like I should get rid of that. Yeah, I feel like I should. Let's get rid of that. So far, Bonecrusher Giant has been a bit underwhelming. It hasn't really accomplished much. Okay, I got mega punished here for not playing the breeding pool. I should have played that better. Bonk. Man, the tribal flame is just so much damage, isn't it? It's just so much damage. I'm always kind of like surprised by how much damage it does. Yeah, Bonecrusher Giant isn't very good here against their deck. Think I'm gonna cut a Reckless Storm Seeker? Something like that? I'm not sure if I should have actually brought a Rest in Peace. Like Rest in Peace is like one of those cards that's like really great, but it can also feel very clunky. Okay, so we need to find a white source fast. If we do, we're gonna have a good time. If we don't, we're gonna have a bad time. Maybe Bonecrusher Giant off the top is also very good. I think I'm just going to do this. I don't want to take too much damage. I have 2 removal spells if I get a white land, so just kind of banking on that. I think this game is over. I'll try Rest in Peace. I'll see if it works out. I think Bonecrusher Giant is really bad. They don't have anything that dies to Bonecrusher Giant, you know? Man, Leyline... It's so slow right now, this Leyline. Yeah, this was a tough one. Because I don't want to gamble and then, like, go to multi 6 or 5, right? Because I feel like this is a perfectly playable hand. And if I mulligan, I feel like that's a bit greedy. So we need to see a land here if we want to continue playing this game. Would be nice if we could. Okay, we found a land. That's really bad. Creature was the best card to draw there. Another game we're stuck with Leyline Binding not being able to be cast. Okay, that was a really good draw. We still haven't played a land. I think they have a removal spell, but it's still a creature, right? Brazen Borer, that's fine. Okay, they're at 4. We just need white lands and we're good. Valmore. No white lands, but... we can still play another card after. Might be enough to pressure. Okay, opponents at 1. Literally any burn spell off the top also kills them. Very nice. Okay, so we played 6 games. We went 4 and 2. I gotta say, it felt a lot better than I expected because I keep saying like, this is an aggro deck, but we only play Wild Nikado as our 1-drop. So like, how are we gonna aggro them down? But it's definitely a surprising one. Like Territorial Kavu, Reckless Stormseeker, and Bloodbraid Elf, like these 3 cards together, like even Nishova Brawler, like the damage output it deals it's kind of absurd. And when Tribal Flame does come down, like eventually you top deck into this, you start dealing a lot of damage despite not having a turn 1 because our creatures are so big and our burn spells deal so much damage that it does offset the fact that we are only playing 4 copies of 1-drops in our deck. Also, this deck is playing a 24 land deck. The last few domain aggro decks that I've done were playing things like Generous Ant, Troll, things like that, right? So basically the idea is that you cycle Forest Cycling, then you can get Indath Triumph, which can fuel your domain. So because you play these things, like you play like 4 copies or 5 copies of these, so you cut the lands instead. So you play like 19 land deck, 18 land deck, things like that. But what I have noticed playing that kind of version was that you do eventually mulligan a lot because you're looking for 1 or 2 lands. It feels clunky, basically. So playing a 24 land deck like this feels kind of good. It's a nice surprise from the usual domain list that I've been playing. But because of that, one thing I've noticed, because there's definitely a give and take, right? There's definitely a give and take. because you don't play this forest cycling card, means that you're not going to be able to get to your domain, or you're not going to be able to color fix, which can be a little bit rough. Especially, I think the mana base is geared towards playing the Naya color, but despite that, sometimes you don't draw your white source. And the last 2 games that I played against the Wizard deck, we didn't have the white source for the Leyline Binding. Despite that, we did eventually win, but it's not a good feeling. Let me just count how many white lands we play. I actually didn't take a look, since this is not my deck. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, so we're playing 9 white lands in the deck, which is not enough to support this deck at all. Like, even though it's a domain deck, I feel like playing a Mana Confluence is not bad. We play 17 green sources, which is way too much for this deck. 9 white sources, which is way too little for this deck. 14 red sources is respectable, actually. 6 black is fine, that's actually perfect. And 6 blue is also fine because black and blue are off colors. So it looks like green has to be cut. Green is, we have way too much green. We have 17 sources of green, even though despite this deck not having a singular double greens in the deck. So less green and then more white. Maybe 1 less Stomping Ground. We'll have a Mana Confluence. So that's 10 white sources. Let's actually cut a copy of Jetmir Garden. You don't want to be playing too many tap lands in the deck. Maybe you should cut a Breeding Pool and have a Mana Confluence instead. Maybe instead of 1 copy of Mana Confluence, you could even go white, red, and blue. So Rogren Triome. So yeah, I would try something like this. And we still have the exact same amount of tap lands we started with. So that should be enough to support the Leyline Binding that you draw into like turn 2 or turn 3. As for the sideboard, so this was actually a best of 1 deck, and I decided to play this in best of 3, so I did put in the sideboard cards needed. One thing I didn't really like was actually a Molten Impact. Maybe it's because of the matchups that I faced. We played against a lot. We played against 2 Gates decks and two Wizard decks, right? So Molten Impact's not gonna feel great. Same with actually Bonecrusher Giant. Bonecrusher Giant didn't feel great against a Gates deck and against a Wizard deck, because Wizard decks have 3 toughness creatures and Gates decks don't have any creatures. Theoretically should be very, very good against a lot of different things at the moment, including the decks that play 1 ring. It kills Dilated Halflings, it gets through the 1 ring, it kills almost all the creatures Yawgmoth decks have, it kills Kinnan, it kills Emry, right? I feel like Bonecrusher Giant is actually pretty decently positioned. It kills Orcish Bowmaster. So yeah, I actually really like the Bonecrusher Giant despite this card not working too well in this session. So I feel like this deck's worst matchup probably will be Mono Green. I think it's a little bit too slow versus Mono Green, but this deck, if you get matched up against the Wizard decks a lot, it's pretty good because you have a lot of tools to get rid of their creatures, such as Tribal Flames and Leyline's Binding. And even after sideboarding, you have things like Lightning Helix, Molten Impact, things like that. But against Mono Green, the matchup I feel like should be a little bit tough, so I decided to play 2 copies of Alpine Moon, which should be good versus Nykthos. And then we have 2 copies of Minx and Boo as our just a mid-range creature. If you're playing against a mid-range deck, you should probably bring 2 copies of Minx and Boo. It's pretty good, I would say. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video so far. And if you did, as always, leave a like, comment below, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.